Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Joe Knowledge YouTube channel. My name is Joe, and I am your host. And we're talking K-State basketball again, guys. K-State basketball. K-State versus Baylor. K-State gets another big win, another huge win at Baylor. All right, 19th ranked Baylor. 97-95 is the score. And again, we get a huge game from Marquise Noel. Huge game. Another, consistently nice game from Keontae Johnson as well. This team is looking solid, guys. It's looking really good. The big story here with this game was that new first-year coach Jerome Tang returns to Baylor, where he served about 20 years as an assistant to Coach Drew there during Baylor's pretty nice run for the last decade or so. They won a Big 12 championship last year. I think the previous year before that, they won the national championship. And so he was there for a long time, and he finally left and took another position here, at K-State. So that was the big story. I think it was a pretty emotional game for both Coach Tang and Coach Drew there for Baylor. And, guys, what it really shows is these coaches, and especially Coach Tang here at K-State, he's an upstanding guy. I mean, with the way he took the game, and if you listen to the press conference at the end of the game, he talked about his love for Baylor and the coaches there and how they taught him and how he had grown so much from that experience. And, it really shows that this guy has so much character beyond basketball. He's really, fostering a family type environment here at K-State for the men's basketball team. And it really shows this year with the way the team's performing and the way they've come together so quickly. So that was the big story for this game. And so, Coach Tang goes in there and he has to play against his former team. Worked out pretty well. It was a very close game. Again, very high scoring game. I think K-State is beginning to believe that that's the type of game that makes them better. I think that's the type of game that Coach Tang wants to play. I think that they have the personnel to do it. They have the speed, especially with Marquise Noel running at the point guard. He's very quick. He's able to distribute the ball very well. We've also got very quick big men. We don't have your typical big post up type center players, but we have very athletic big guys, and they're able to run the floor very well. So it's seeming like this game plan of high scoring, very fast pace, up and down the floor very fast is the way this team likes to play, or at least the way they're playing now, and it's winning games for them. So let's kind of get into how this game played out. Marquise Noel again scores over 30 points in this game. He scores 32 points, 14 assists, so he ends up with a double-double. All right. This guy is turning into a very, very, very solid college basketball player. All right. He's hitting three-pointers very, very efficiently. He's running the offense very, very efficiently, and he's able to get into the paint and get rid of his defender pretty well every time down the floor, and that gives him an opportunity to dish the ball to one of his teammates for an open shot. And that seems like they can run that like clockwork, and many times like a Keontae Johnson is the beneficiary of that. And he's waiting there for the pass, and he can go ahead and dunk it or dish it to somebody else. Let's see what we got here. Keontae Johnson's 24 points there, so he's becoming Mr. Consistency. He scores, 20. He's in double digits every game, all right. But it seems like lately he's been scoring 20 plus points a game. Looked like Tomlin got in some foul trouble this game, so he only got 9. I think he sat out part of the first half with a couple of fouls. Then he came back in the second half and played pretty well. So, he ended up with 9 points there. Masood, Ishmael Masood played a very, very solid game, considering that he wasn't a starter to start the season. I think he had some injuries, and he's come in and played very well. He actually hit what could be considered the game-winning shot in overtime to a three-pointer to put K-State up by 1 point, and that pretty much ended up being what won the game. Okay, very, very good play from him right now, and it's really nice to see that he's able to kind of bring that together after initially not starting. So very, very nice game for him. A couple of key plays in this game that really opened things up and really led K-State to the win. Okay, in overtime, Marquise Noel goes up for a three-pointer and gets fouled. Okay, and if you watch the game, you see how the defender stuck his arm in there to kind of put his hand out to try to guard Marquise Noel, and he rose up for the shot and caused contact at the three-point line and ended up hitting all three free throws in order to tie the game at 91. That was huge. At that point in time, Baylor was really making a run, and they were starting to try to build a small lead, and K-State was kind of in that mode where they were just trying to keep up and tie the game. And that game, that play really allowed K-State to get to a tie and to stay right there with Baylor and not let them get 2, maybe 3, 4 points ahead. Then the three-pointer by Masood that put K-State up by 1 with like 30 seconds left was huge. That was huge. Literally, that was the game winner. Okay, that was pretty much the game winner. So some key plays that got K-State this win were huge. They were big. Baylor, good team. They played very well. High scoring game, all right, 97-95. This is a high scoring game. Both teams, again, similar to the Texas game, both teams hitting big shots, big three-pointers, not very many misses. You can see here from the stats, you've got, high field goal percentage for both teams, pretty high. 53.1% for field goal percentages for K-State. Baylor's got 44.6% field goal percentage, so that's pretty good. K-State's shooting very well from the free throw line right now, which is really something that's going to help them. A key stat here that I'm looking at as well is look at Marquise Noel here. He's 12 for 13 from the free throw line, so he's getting fouled very, very often, and he's making them. He's making the teams pay. So his quickness and his agility to making him able to get past defenders and into the paint is really causing teams to foul him, and he's making the shots. So he's scoring. Look, that's 12 points just from free throws. All right, so no wonder why he's scoring 30 points. He's got 12 points just from free throws. Okay, so another huge game for K-State. All right, let's take a look at some other things here. Okay, so the game flow here, very close game. If you watch the first half, there were several lead changes. So very close game, very tight game, very back and forth. So the teams were very evenly matched, I felt. K-State was just able to kind of stretch a little bit further ahead in the second half, and then towards the end there, Baylor was able to come back and tie the game. Then even in overtime, I think Baylor started to somewhat assert itself there, but K-State again was able to answer and was able to squeak out this game. This is something that I think you're going to see in the Big 12. In the Big 12, the last place team in the Big 12 is going to be a very good team. I think that's what you're going to see in this league. This league is very, very stacked. So Baylor being at 0-3 doesn't really say much about them as far as, what it says is they're in a very tough league and they've had some bad breaks. But it doesn't say that they're a bad team. So it's it's so early in league play. It's really hard to see how things are going to play out because all the teams are so good that any team can win on any given night. I said that before. It's going to be a tough slate, and teams are going to have to be able to win close games, and they're going to have to be able to be resilient when teams make runs on them and not let things get away. And then teams are just going to have to shoot well. Okay. So let's see. Let's look at so our conference standings here. K-State sitting atop of the league with KU right now at 3-0, both 14-1 right now. And there you go. You got Baylor there at 0-3, sitting at 10-5. Again, I want to reiterate, warning, it is early, guys. It is so early in the season, and I don't want to get ahead. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. K-State is surprising people right now, but it's so early, things could turn very quickly. Okay. So, the hope is that the team understands this just like the fans do. Right. And they understand that they have to really stay on top of getting better and not looking past teams in the Big 12 because you just can't do that. You'll lose several games if you do that. Okay. So warning. It's early in the season. Okay. I'm hyped right now about K-State. I'm really hyped about them because they're winning games that I just didn't expect them to win, to be quite honest. Even as a fan, I just first year coach, brand new team, unranked, picked to finish last, right? I don't think they would finish last, but not very many people expected them to win these games. Okay, you got 3 ranked opponents to start the league play, and they've won all of them. Also scoring a lot of points in this game and asserting themselves very strongly offensively in these games. And so I'm hyped about that. I'm so excited, but I have to kind of level set myself and remember that for one, there's 3 games in the league play, and for 2, it's a very strong league. And 3, we haven't played KU yet. Okay, and we'll have to play them twice, and we'll have to play Baylor again. Okay, and it's appearing that teams are winning on the road quite a bit. So, we're winning on the road. Now, when we go home to play, are these teams going to come to Manhattan and win like many teams have been doing on the road? So many variables here, so much time so many games that need to be played. It's a great start, but the hope is that the team understands that it's still early and there's still growth, and that, don't get ahead of ourselves. A lot of people are talking about K-State right now. Okay, especially these high scoring games, these big games. K-State is about to be ranked here pretty high. So the hope is that the team understands this and knows, okay, hey, now we've got a target on our back. So we kind of have to continue to play at a high level, continue to get better. Okay. If you watch some of the press conferences with Coach Tang, he seems to really reiterate that every time, saying that, hey, there's still growth. Whether we won or lost this current game, there's still growth. He still understands that the team has to grow, still has to grow. And he also understands that it's a very, very tough league and that you can't really get ahead of yourself too quickly or you will start to lose games. Okay. So I really like this team and I really like the coaching staff. I really like the fact that, with the atmosphere that I think Coach Tang has built, you're going to have guys play to their full potential. And I think that's what you see here. Sometimes coaches, you've got a guy, he's got a certain skill set, and the coach doesn't really know how to bring that out in him. Okay. Sometimes there's, a mindset that a coach has to create within his team to get guys to really play together and to trust one another and to trust the process that they're teaching them. And I think, the Coach Tang's personality works well with, I think, young people. I think he has a way of connecting with young people that is very invaluable for him. As a coach, especially because he has to get their attention and he has to get them to perform at a high level. So he has to get them to understand, hey, I've got to work hard. Hey, I can't, I have to keep my mind right. Hey, I have to continue to progress. And this is not a quick, one game. This is not a quick thing here. This is kind of a journey that they have to, play out and, and continue on to get better throughout the season. And he seems to do a pretty good job at getting that message across to the team. So I'm very excited about this team. I think the sky's the limit. I also think it's early, and I hope that the team continues to play well and get better. They have to continue to get better because other teams are getting better. If they don't get better, they might get surpassed by other teams. So we'll see how it goes. All right, guys.